This is the approach to the Cottonwood campground. It says the campground is full, but there are, according to the volunteer check-in ranger guy, there are 4 spots empty. So all the signs say that everything's full, but I'm pretty sure not everything is full, and that's even with their COVID precautions of reducing 1/3 of the available sites. So here you come up to this little intersection. That's where the local employees camp. They have free hookups and they're otherwise volunteers. And this is the entrance to the Cottonwood campground. It's pretty rustic, but it's not boondocking. There are just no plug-ins or anything like that. There's water here, there's trash here, recycling. There's a little boat launch where you can go in the Rio Grande, which is between maybe 12 and 30 feet wide and as shallow as, I would say, 10 inches deep. Not a very secure border crossing. I'll show you that here in a little bit. But you can see the campground back there. There are, I don't know, maybe eight spots taken. Here's an amphitheater here, which hasn't seen any activity for probably a year. So here's where there's a little boat launch. It just goes down to the Rio Grande, which is not particularly grand, but is nice. It's cold, and so that's the river right there. And again, I'll take you down there in a minute, but that's Mexico right across the way. Well, I just walked down from my campsite, kind of listening to the Babbling Brook, which turns out to be the Rio Grande River. It's about 30 feet wide here, I'd say. And you can actually put a boat in as long as you stay on this half of the river, I imagine. That's Mexico right there. The ranch of someone. There are a couple of horses over here hanging out in Mexico. I think you can see them there on the hill. Let's see. See if I can get them higher here. There we go. 3 horses just feeding in the grass. Also some power lines over the river, providing some sort of power or phone service or something. And then there's some sort of a river silt incorporated river screen. So yeah, that's it. Don't see any illegal aliens going one way or the other. It's pretty funny. So I'll show you where I walked down to. I don't want to bore you too much here, but it's pretty arid. They had a fire here about 1.5 years ago. Apparently there was a brush burn across the river there, and some of the embers blew over to here and started a fire, ignited all around the campground. Fortunately, they were able to get out here and get it stopped. So my rig is just over there, past that blue awning. I'm not gonna waste your time there too much. And there you see it. There's a dumpster here in the front and some tent campers next to me. Pretty funny though. Hopefully I can hear this water tonight when I'm in bed. Be a nice sound. Oh, Babbling Rio Grande. I mean, no kidding. It's probably 15 feet wide here. That's it. Go across there and you can run away to Mexico. And so they have a little grate here to keep out the javelinas. Maybe the bears, I don't think so though. And they have potable water, various recyclings and regular trash. They have 2 outhouses that are they're doubles, and they're very clean. So this isn't really roughing it too bad. You can see the site number 1 is not being used because it's a COVID thing. I think I said already that they took 6 of their sites and closed them. But picnic table, grill, and bear box. Looks very nice over there. I don't know, that's about 6,000 feet. So here's sort of the welcome sign. Just tells you about the campground, how to claim a site. You can only reserve them online. And even though they appear to be sold out, just keep checking a couple times a day. You'll see them. And it is down here. This is Cottonwood. This is Chisos Basin. And down here is the Rio Grande Village. Panther Junction is the main visitor center. There's a post office there. You can get brochures and things, t-shirts and stuff. It's all done outside. No generators, no idling of vehicles to keep your power up. So if you gotta have power that way, then you're out of luck. And I just want to share this. I just think it's so cool that the Rio Grande is right down here in this low spot, right down there. And I'll show you later, it's about 15 feet wide. I counted again, and there are about 15, out of the sites here, there are 7 taken. So the volunteer ranger told me that there are some great horned owls that come out here and perch in these trees, so I'll be looking for those. To show you what we got going here. It's actually not bad right now. It was pretty hot a little while ago. I did do some hiking. Brought one of the bikes along. Had the screen down, which is working really well. And the fence row here is just where you see those burnt trees. That's where the Rio Grande is, right down there. It's about 15 feet wide at that spot. These places come with a picnic table. This is Cottonwood Campground. And this is Beware of the Javelina. And they do come here all the time. So there's a grill. I didn't bring any charcoal. I just don't want to carry extra stuff. There's a bear box. I don't really use that either. And I put the awning out because the sun was pretty intense while I was setting up this little seating area here. And I don't expect any critters, but this diesel motor gets pretty hot. And some of the heat goes inside, dissipates inside. So I just kind of keep this open till the engine cools off. But I'll be looking for the great horned owl. Hopefully I can show you some photos of those. Meanwhile, the burgers are cooking away. And just about ready to flip. Like I said, they were frozen, so I'm doing them low and slow. To be continued. Waiting for the great horned owl to show up here. Hopefully it shows up tonight. I'm only here one other night in a couple of days. There's my rig. So yeah, about 7 or 8 total. And beer box. Yeah, it's a nice place. I way prefer this over Chisos, where I was last night. All right, back with you later. This is the Santa Alina Canyon, and you'll see the waters here in this video. It's hard to believe that they are enough to have carved this canyon, which is 1,500 feet deep in some places, and it's 8 miles long. Some places it's only 30 feet wide, the canyon that is. The river crossing in some places is 8 feet between the US and Mexico. And in fact, in 1852, the Boundary Survey launched a little expedition to check this out, and they sent a wooden boat down the canyon, and only splinters came out at the end. And then in 1882, some Texas Rangers and surveyors went down it. And there's an area called the Rock Slide in there. I don't know where that is, but they portaged there, but then made the rest of the trip to document the border between the US and Mexico along the Rio Grande. Here's the canyon down the road. I'll put the name on here. I forget it at the moment. But it was a spectacular sunrise there. You can see that's Mexico right there. That's about 10 feet over there. These are the famous cliffs that don't require a wall. And the sky has been spectacular. The sun cooperated. Just beautiful. Got to be out here at 5:30 to get set up. But it's worth it. There's the video spot from this morning, and that butte out there is from last night's camp. And then I'm just taking this trail along the ridge here into the canyon, so we'll see what it shows. It's very peaceful in here. This is the end of the line. And boy, is there an echo. Woo! 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 That's Mexico. It's easy to feel uncomfortable standing here. Nice crack right there. Yeah. Santa Alina Canyon Trail. That's what it is. 80-foot elevation gain. So I actually just returned from this hike. That's almost exactly correct. I think my watch said it was 81 or 87 feet. It's an 8-mile drive from Cottonwood Campground, and I got here at about 5:30, and the first vehicle was here when I got here, and I think they might be actually camping on this side of the river down at the water shore of the water, because I heard some people talking when I was hiking out there. And otherwise, it's kind of busy, really. Today is a Friday. It's Friday morning. So I highly recommend this. This has been, I want to say, maybe the highlight so far. The photography was phenomenal, getting these peaks from the waterfront at sunrise. So if you come out here, it's worth getting up at 5:30.